All right, we're going to start out pretty hot with a message I got from Instagram from Emilio Boves or Boves or Bovies, I don't know. But he said that he saw the last episode, so episode 36, where you're trying to upload a picture, but you keep getting the S3 access error. And he says that you have your path like this: final storage path, blah, blah, blah. But you should be calling it like storage path from identity. And he basically explains that I think the reason is because, from what I understand, Amplify doesn't really recognize the user ID that you're trying to provide, and it only recognizes identity ID. So he basically did all this and tried it and says that it works. So we're going to try to fix that using his approach and see if we can, because we are now able to upload pictures to the database, but we're not using the method that he suggests, or we're not, the way that I did it was I did a workaround essentially to be able to upload pictures, but ideally we want to use the method that he suggested. So if that's possible, then we want to try it. So that's what we're going to start out doing. Also, I want to see, I feel like I got some stuff. Read me the aim. Let's see what I did. I really like this. Like, this is pretty good. I'm gonna merge it. We're gonna see pull request. Okay, and then we need to make sure that we do git pull instead of, so we don't accidentally start doing stuff and then have to deal with a merge conflict. Yep. All right, that's actually seemed to work. So Emilio Boves or Bovies, seems like that solution worked. I'm gonna log in and just see if there was something uploaded. but I think it was. Profile pictures. 10:04, which is today, at 10 a.m. So that actually seems to have worked. So thank you a lot for that. I'm going to reply to the message now and just say thank you. All right. So now we can upload pictures in the proper way, which is good. Let's just commit this. The next step is going to be getting the profile picture of another user so that when we're in the call page, we want to actually be able to see the profile picture of another user, not our own profile picture. So that's what we're going to do now. Right now, the problem that we have is that when we press finish, it works, but it says error, saving the profile routing, home is null. Basically, the grok code that I'm using is trying to route the user to a different page after I've saved this new information. But that new page is actually, or grok decided to use a routing system that I haven't implemented. And so that's why we're getting the error. What we could do is use a different type of routing system to get back to the page that we want to get to. But we have a few things. Well, I don't know what we have really. Okay, so I think I understand what needs to get done. We need to update the user model to have a variable in it that's called available. And maybe we also need an ID for the call that they're in. So basically the available flag is something that we're then going to use. And this means that we don't have to constantly have a function running in the background that's looking for like who is available or whatever. We can just have a function that gets triggered when a person says like search for someone to talk to or whatever. Because then what happens when we press search, we trigger a function on lambdas on the server side. And that server side function basically goes through all the different users and looks for like, is anyone available? And the ones that are available get sorted into the potential call here. And then we could also use like matching criteria. That's where we could do the proper like, that's where Tinder in this case would have had some sort of like matching algorithm that looks at like how popular are these users, or like who are we going to show this person to, and whatever. But we're going to try to make this as minimalist as possible to avoid situations where people, it should be as fair as possible. And essentially then we could just look at each user, just pick a user and look, are they available? No, yes, whatever. We should probably have an online flag as well. So anytime someone logs into the app should set them to be online, so that we can then see, are they online and are they available? And if they're online and available, then they can get sorted into a call. And then basically the rest of the stuff almost takes place on the server side. So there's a bit of work with this, but we can make it work, I think. And Mr. Grok gave us quite a lot of stuff here that I think is going to work. Okay. Okay, this was actually pretty cool. So as you can see here online, it says false. And what I did was basically I just went out of the app. Now I went back into the app. And if we go back here, we have to update the table. But if we update the table here, we can see that it says true now. So essentially now we've created a system to just check if the user is online or not. Or not we, but Grok has done this all for me without me having to actually do anything. But false, it says now because we're out of the app. And that's really good. That's a really important part because we need to know when the user is online or not so that we can then set them up for a phone call. Important stuff. And we got it. All right. So the next part is going to be to set the, or to create the lambda function, which we should be able to do by just going to, wait, let's do this. online status now dates when or not. And this is something that for now is going to be just on the backend side, like the other users won't see if you're online or not, but we will see it on the back end. Maybe in the future we'll implement a classic like online status system where you can set it to be online, or you can be like ghost mode if you want to, and those sort of things. But for now, all we need is just to know if you're online or not. And that is it. So now the next thing is going to be, what was it? Creating the function. And we have functions. Create event, filter users. What do they call it? Match users. Okay. Okay, I pretty much have to run now, but feel like we're getting close. I haven't tested out the function yet, but we've been able to add it and successfully deploy it to the backend side. So now the question is just, can we get it to actually run and filter and give us a user to use? And then if we can do that, then we can move on to basically sorting them into the call, doing all that stuff. I think Grok also wrote a page for a better call page essentially than the one that I have. That should just work better. So I'm gonna try to do that, but I literally have to run now. So see you in the next video. And we'll see if it actually has worked or not.